Okay, continuing progress on the audio board. Chugging along, slow but sure here. Now I've got the V-mid EQ section also laid out on this board. And as you can see, I managed to largely preserve all this space down here, which will be good to have in the future, particularly for the M section, which is the next one coming up, because that has a lot of passive components, particularly the tone stack components and all these high pass, basically bright circuits in the Marshall circuit design, which I'm copying here more or less. Okay, but so today we are doing this, which is the V-mid. It's a sweepable mid-range Baxandall type circuit. So it's got a boost and a cut or boost on this level. When it's in the center, it's flat, and then the frequency is set by this dual gang pot here. And this is an early EQ. It comes before the Marshall section, so it's pre-distortion for setting the tonality of the guitar signal going into the distortion. And then the Marshall circuit itself, of course, has a late EQ after all the distortion production, which is just a regular bass mid treble type tone stack. But yeah, this Baxandall, this is really my own invention, or something I've put together from copying various pieces of various circuits and kind of stitched it together into my own design here. The first tube section uses a negative feedback loop, so it behaves like an inverting op amp. I invented that, or I should say reinvented. Other people have done it, but I wasn't aware of that, and I kind of just hypothesized, gee, I wonder if this would work. And yeah, it works. It works to have negative feedback in tube circuits. Behaves just the same, so you can set the gain numerically and you get linear behavior. So that turns this triode stage into a nicely linear amplifier, more than it would be operating open loop, and also gives it programmable gain, which I have set just about at 2, 470K here, 1 meg here, gain of 2. So it's a little bit of gain in this circuit section to make up for any losses, but it's basically a straight through, not a gain stage. Then you got the variable frequency bandpass circuit here, which is in the feedback from this section here, gives a inverted signal, and this is the positive signal, so to speak. It's actually already inverted, of course, but relative to the circuit, this is negative phase, positive phase, so in the middle it cancels out to 0. And again, this triode section behaves like an op amp. Keeping this becomes a virtual ground essentially, and it works to keep that to minimize the changes there, although it's not nearly as effective as a transistor op amp, of course, but it behaves mathematically in a similar way. And so that makes a overall very linear stage with this variable frequency bandpass here, which can either be a boost or a cut, so mid scoop or a mid boost, depending on the setting of this level control here. So that's that circuit. And yeah, I managed to, most of the components are grouped around the plate resistors here, and then there's a few more down here where the pots connect along this front edge here. But lots of real estate left over for the Marshall gain section, and then the fourth tube is for the effects loop, and so there's not too many components there, and that should all fit in there pretty well. So that's what we're looking at. That's the progress for today. Boop.